Listen, if you manage to do that, hats off to you. Finding it difficult to get all your girls together for a trip or vacation? Yes. Well, fortunately, travel blogger Monet Hambrick shared her tips on Instagram, so we asked her to share those tips with us. Morning, Monet. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, getting all the girls together, Monet. Well, hopefully at the end of this, it will happen. One of the first things you say is to set clear budgets up front so everyone knows if the trip is for them.
Yes, that is so important because when you're going on a trip with multiple people, we all have different things going on in our lives and
Mhm.
different budgets. And we have to make sure that the trip is going to work for each and every one of us because the worst thing you can do is plan a trip for a certain amount of girls and then someone drops out the week before or 2 weeks before, and then that messes up everybody else on the trip.
Yeah. And isn't the person with the money the one that's always trying to plan the trip?
Yes, exactly. And they'll base it off of their budget and their budget alone, but they have to take in consideration everybody's.
That's right. You say have 1 to 2 group leaders. Why?
Yes, too many chiefs in the TV is not good, as they say. So having 1 to 2 people that are used to planning trips is going to be the best. And you want to set that based on people's strengths too, whether, if you have 2 people, okay, the person that's really good at accommodations, have them do that. Or the person that's really good at planning the itinerary, have them look up the things to do that the group wants to do based on everybody's feedback. Because if you have everybody planning everything, it's not going to work out.
I like the idea of not just one, but two, because it means that, two heads are always better than one, and it brings a different perspective to the trip. And then one person can't say, oh, I was so busy, I forgot to do it. So they kind of
Yeah.
want you. So 1 to 2 is awesome. Set up, set up a central place where everyone can access the trip plans.
Yes. So I think it's so important for everybody to know exactly what's going on. Listen, we all have our friends that are so busy or they just don't think about things and they wait till the last minute and then they're asking 50 million questions. So
Mhm.
having everything in one place gives everybody access to what's going on. If there's any changes, they have their flight information, the hotel information. That way, if they need to share that to anybody else, they're not constantly asking the group leaders every 5 seconds, what are we doing next? Or where are we staying? Everything's right in one place.
Nothing worse than making it to the trip, and every time you're supposed to go somewhere, somebody says, I didn't know we were going to a dinner. I didn't bring any clothes. Are we going to
Exactly.
the beach? Nobody told me to bring swimwear.
Exactly. And it helps. Exactly. It helps with that, with knowing what to pack for the trip. So everybody's on the same page and they know they have everything in their suitcase.
Well, that brings us to point 4, which is during the planning process, make sure everyone's voice is heard. So what should we do? Like up front, say, okay, guys, let me hear what you think, and then move it from there.
Yeah. So as someone that's normally one of the group leaders in planning the trips, I always I put together like a document with all the things that there are to do in the destination we're going and ask people to give their opinions. Like, is there anything that you absolutely have to leave doing? Because, we're all spending our money and we're going on this trip. We want to make sure we're doing what we want to do on the trip. So if there's any musts, and if there's anything that someone is like, absolutely not, I cannot do that,
Hmm.
which I talk about on tip 6, which we'll talk about. But yes, it's very important to make sure that everyone's voice is heard because you don't want the trip to be planned based on the 1 to 2 people that are planning the trip. You want everyone to leave the trip having the most amazing time and doing what they want to do because everyone's spending their money.
Listen, immediately COVID, people were on trips, and then they got to halfway, and then learned that, well, you can't go the rest of the way because you're not vaccinated. So you have to
Hmm.
go back home, and the trip just was not working out. Trips are not easy, folks. Please listen to money and get it right. Number 5 says it's okay if you don't do everything together. Actually, I
Yes.
like that.
Because sometimes, especially depending on how long the trip is, everyone's personality is different, and some people need some time alone for themselves, or some people don't enjoy doing certain things. On the girls trip that you showed the video from, a few of us wanted to hike the volcano there, and it's quite a strenuous hike, and everyone didn't want to do it. There were 6 of us, so 4 of us that did, we went that day, and the 2 girls that didn't, they hung out at the pool at the resort, and they had a great time. And we all left the trip fulfilled because, we weren't doing things we weren't interested in doing.
Because you know what, at the end of the day, everybody probably has their own. When people take a vacation, for some people, it's about resting. For some people, it's getting up from 5 a.m. in the morning because I want to see everything that's happening in this place. So leave the people who want to sleep, and those who want to go, leave them alone. 6, see, here we go. Flexibility is key. Yeah.
Yes, when you're on a trip with multiple people, everyone has different personalities. Everyone has different ways of traveling. And it's important that we take that into consideration. Me personally, I am the one that likes to wake up early in the morning. I want to do everything, but everyone is not like that. And you have to compromise when you're on a group trip, because you can't do just what you want to do, because you're there with your friends. You want to have a good time. So, maybe that one day, you do wake up early because everybody in the group wants to do something and you want to be a part of that. But then the next day, the group compromises and they do something that starts at 11:30 a.m. instead of at 7 a.m. And just making sure that everyone's voice is heard and being able to go with the flow. I personally love itineraries, but everyone is not that type of traveler. When you're traveling with other people, you have to accommodate everyone's traveling style, or else the trip won't end nice.
7 a.m. you'd be on your own money. Easily split bills with apps like Splitwise. I didn't know there was an app like that.
Yes, because when the bill comes, when you're on a group trip, some people have cash, some people don't. Some people say, I'll pay you back later, and later never comes. Mm-hmm. So make sure that everyone still wants to go on a trip with each other in the future. Apps like Splitwise are really good. We're making sure everyone has cash. If it's a larger group, if you're going to a restaurant, maybe doing something that has a set menu and everyone knows already, hey, dinner is $25 per person. So everyone comes with that amount. Just because, for me personally, I don't drink alcohol. I have friends that do. I love them and I don't want to be a penny pincher, but also if you order 3 drinks at dinner, I don't really want to split the bill with you because I don't drink alcohol. So, those things are really important to set expectations.
Very important. Very important. You want to eat lobster. I'm good with chicken. So yeah, we're going to split that bill. And finally, you say you can't travel with every friend you have, and that's okay.
Yes, honestly, sometimes you have a friend that you love dearly, but going on a trip with them is very different than hanging out, and going to the movies at home. And you can try, but sometimes there's just some friends you can't travel with, and that's okay because they're just not the friend you travel with, but you have other memories, that you have with them, and hopefully it's a good understanding.
Yes, we can meet at the movies, and when it's done, go home, I'll go home. On a trip,
there's no going home, so we got to make sure we're on the same page.
All right, Monet, great tips, by the way. And let's see if we can, the summer is coming up. It's a great time for a girls trip, and let's see how much we can get the girls out this summer. Thank you. How do we find you?
I'm on Instagram and TikTok as The Traveling Child, and my website that has all the itineraries for all my trips is www.thetravelingchild.co.
Awesome. Go check out The Traveling Child, Monet Hambrick. She'll hook you up this summer. All right, Monet. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our girl talk. Yes, listen. That's one of the things.